Hello everybody, my name is Little Mouse, and welcome back to the Junior Motor Show. Unlike my other videos, for once, I actually did something interesting. Yeah, that's right, I actually started my video while I was actually at the truck, or vehicle. Now, most of the Junior Motor Shows are extremely boring because all you look at is the cars just staying in the exact same position, just decaying away. But last weekend, that entirely got blown away. That idea, outdated concept, gone. Now, I'm only making videos when something interesting happens. And that's what was last weekend. Last weekend, I did my very first interesting Junior Motor Show video because I got to show you what it was like inside the transmission, and what we did to the transmission, and how it was seized, and we took off the brake drum and replaced and just put the tire back on. But this time it's something even more interesting. Also, if you want to see that video, it's on YouTube. I don't remember it was like Junior Motors 1941 Chevy inspection. But anyway, okay, so here's the thing that makes this video even more interesting. Well, continuing off of last weekend, we finally got the transmissions unseized. Really, it was hard because all weekend, also, it's the clutch gear that we were trying to move all last weekend. We're trying to move it like it's supposed to be shifted, but it's a clutch gear, so it's not supposed to be moved. So yeah, that was a massive waste of time. It turned out that the bearing was just frozen in, and it just needed to get unrusted, which we did prematurely by spraying it with some Rust Blaster brand. Anyway, this weekend we freed it up because apparently that sorry, there's buzzing, but the Rust Blaster did a really good job because the rust is kind of gone. We just sprayed a bit more on here this week and freed right up. Now it literally could roll down a mountain or hill right now. But oh wait, unlucky/lucky us, because the front brakes are seized. Mainly because I think they were, I don't know why. For some reason, there's fluid inside the wheel cylinder for some reason. I don't know how brakes work, so yeah. Anyway, so what we did this weekend was we did the supposedly simple task of taking off the brake drum right there. That literally took 2.5 hours because it's on brakes. It's literally brakes right now. The thing was compressed against the drum. And so we had to chisel our way into there. Also, in case you're wondering, we did do the thing where you take off the cap, there's a nut, take off the nut after you pull the pin. You know, all that stuff that you have to do to get off the front drum. It was literally just a matter of pulling it off, but we couldn't do that because the brake shoes were right against the drum, literally holding it in place. When we were pulling it, the brake shoes were literally pulling with it. It was a mess. It was terrible because it was also raining, and I did it and I took off the lug nuts, which were rusted in, all by myself in the rain. Pouring rain. And normally I do like rain, but when you're out in it for like an hour taking rusty lug nuts off a truck with only a sweat jacket to protect you, it's pretty bad. So that's how that worked. When we finally got the wheel off, we found out that like the studs that hold the wheel and the lug nuts and all that stuff on are literally attached to the drum, not to the wheel. And because of that, that means the only way we can get it to be free is to either fix the brakes and have the drum more like the cylinder be normal and push back. But we are way too lazy to try and fix up brakes on a truck that we're going to be taking all the brakes off, because we're not even using this front end, we're using another one we have. Although that's still probably questionable, because the brakes are probably seized on that one as well. But anyway, so what we did was we took it apart, and we're planning on taking the brake shoes apart. As you can see, we took the little springs off, blindfolded on. Yeah. That's really all we did for the brakes right now. We tried to push the brake shoes back in so that we wouldn't even have to do that, but hydraulic brakes, that's not happening. Something like the cable where you can just, when you push the brake shoe, it just turns a little arm and pushes the cable. Cable brakes are way more reliable. Actually, I don't know. I never will. But anyway, yep, that's really it. Maybe next weekend we're going to show you what it's like when the brakes are all off and when the drum's going to be back on there and the wheel. Also, this is not the only wheel that's going to be taken apart and torn apart and all that stuff. That one also, because every single drum on here was pretty much seized except for one. One that was very good to us. Buzzing. I think it's a bee of some sort, but I can't tell. It could just be a fly. Anyway, that's not important. So yeah, there it is. That's the free brake. That's what I call it, because it's free. Oh yeah, there's a drum. Very irresponsible of us to just leave it there. Also, find the hidden image, a miniature crowbar. If you find one, tell us a comment on where you found it. Please don't use longitude and latitude or anything like that. Because we lost a miniature crowbar down here, which is, you wouldn't believe it, but it's surprisingly helpful. Also, if you couldn't tell, you can see tracks there of where the tire used to be. Yeah, it literally rolled backwards as soon as we got it into neutral. Like, real neutral, where it's not seized and everything's bad. It literally rolled backwards a little bit. The only thing that really stopped it from rolling all the way down that hill is obviously the seized front wheels brakes and the fact that the frame is literally dragging on the ground up front. On the other side, because without, these wheels are flat. Okay, I think you get the point. Okay, there are literally like a bunch of flies flying around me. You can't see them because my tablet is not HD. There are a bunch of flies flying around me. I'm wearing a wet sweat jacket because it's too cold to be wearing no jacket. So yeah, that's another interesting episode of the Junior Motor Show. Bye.